You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show.
Let it build up. Let it build up. Let it build up. Here it comes. Yeah. The best new entrance theme in the WWE right now. Wade Barrett has got it going on. Wait. Here we go. Boom! Welcome to another edition of Main Event AfterBuzz. We're brought to you by Bing. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another Main Event AfterBuzz. Welcome, everybody. People out here call me professional wrestling's voice of choice, Christian Rosenberg. I'm here holding down the fort, but as always, not holding it down alone. I got my great team across the desk from me. First off, Mr. Cameron Kash. Boom, 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 boom.
What's up, my sexy people? I'm wearing my $250 solar watch, baby. It goes all night long. It has no batteries. And I also got my Triple H necklace that I won in the Cracker Jack box. Baby, this thing's beautiful. Feel it, car. Feel it.
And speaking of, right next to him, the lovely Kaori Takee. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. I have my $20 Target watch, and I'm doing splendid.
Yes, all right. And yeah, we are here to talk about WWE Main Event for the week of May 29th. This week, hailing from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Boom! I just love this music. So, this is like go to the gym music. Like, this is like the pump you up music.
I know.
I freaking love it. And we get Wade Barrett in our first matchup of the night here at Main Event. But before we get into that match, I think it'd be nice of us to talk about our brand new Main Event announce team that we have. The dynamic trio, apparently, somehow.
I hope it's just for this
Josh
episode.
Matthews, The Miz, and Ricardo Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
This was another
What
one
the
of those.
hell was this?
I don't know, man. It was like the Three Stooges. What in the blue hell, as The Rock would say. I mean, we had former porn star Ricardo Rodriguez, a.k.a. The Extra, back in the day. Then the Spanish announcer. Now he's an English, Spanish, I don't know what his accent is going. He's like on and off commentator. I don't like it.
How'd you guys feel about him speaking Spanish?
Well, you know, like overall, I'm perfectly fine with them having Josh Matthews on comment. If they want him to commentate Main Event instead of Michael Cole, I'm fine with that. But again, Miz, I've never been huge. Your necklace is clanging into your microphone.
I was wondering what that was. I was like,
your Triple H Cracker Jack necklace.
There we go. I just put it next to the chest.
We're hiding it for now.
Proceed.
The Miz, as I was interrupted by the bling, the Miz, you know, he's apparently not going anywhere in Main Event for some odd reason for commentary, whatever. I mean, he's not bad commentator. It's just, we've talked about it before. I don't understand why a current wrestler should be on commentary. But does WWE really have absolutely no faith at all in Tony Dawson, Scott Stanford, Matt Stryker, and William Regal? Because, like, why not bring one of them to do Main Event?
And apparently not. You know, it got me back to thinking about the good old WCW days.
WCW days.
WCW. You know, I really miss Tony Schiavone. What happened to him? I mean, right after WCW went defunct, he just exited the building, went to the heavens. Bring back that man. Vince McMahon's got to give him $2 million, $5 million, how much, whatever it takes. We need some good commentators for Main Event and SmackDown. This is just a public outcry.
I don't mind SmackDown with Cole, Josh Matthews, and JBL, but yes, Main Event needs something new. I mean, if you want to do Josh Matthews and bring up William Regal, or Matt Stryker and Tony Dawson, or, you know, some type of combination.
Or Tony Schiavone.
Or maybe even Tony, who knows what Tony Schiavone's up to these days. I mean, if they're not confident enough in their commentators, I know a guy that they should be confident in. I mean, he's a guy that's been working in commentary for about 7.5 years now, and he's known around the state of California for his commentating. I'm just saying.
Cameron Kash.
Cameron Kash.
Yeah, baby.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But yeah, so some controversy there.
But so yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of went off a little bit. I didn't really answer your question about Ricardo.
That's okay.
Ricardo Rodriguez. There were some parts when he did the commentary today that I didn't think were bad. The thing is, his voice isn't, as weird as it sounds, like obnoxious enough to really be a commentator. Like his voice really has to stick out. And I mean, unless he's, holding the note like he does for Alberto Del Rio, his voice really doesn't stand out to an extent.
Like it doesn't have a punch, right?
Exactly. But then on the other hand, then all of a sudden, he's throwing the different Spanish in, which they're doing because obviously WWE has a huge Hispanic audience. So like, all right, maybe we'll throw him on there to appease some more of like the Hispanic viewers that may not speak, like Spanish might be their secondary language. So he'll use Ricardo for the Hispanic influence. But I mean, if you want Ricardo on commentary, then you use him on the Spanish announce team.
Totally agree with you. It just doesn't make any sense.
Only because he's using the Spanish in the commentary.
Right,
if he's stuck with the English, then fine, keep him on there.
Absolutely. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. You got English and Spanish mixing up all together. It gets you all convoluted.
Convoluted indeed. Confoozled indeed. So that's our new commentary team for Main Event. We'll see how long that lasts. But meanwhile, we have a fantastic matchup between two brawlers to start off Main Event where the Bareknuckle Brawler, Wade Barrett, who's got, like I said, the new music, which I absolutely love, taking on the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And by the way, this week Wade Barrett had the jacket but no shirt. Yeah. So this week we went with the jacket no shirt deal. Who knows what will happen next time?
That's actually my favorite. I like the the jacket with the flower. It always reminds me of Balrog from Street Fighter. It was like his finisher when you do that.
We have a Street Fighter reference every week on this show.
No, we don't. It's just every now and then. But I mean, Corey knows. She does that video game show, and she definitely probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I didn't see the relation until you mentioned it.
Now you do.
All right. And while the guys are entering the ring, we get a recap from this past Raw where we had The Miz as a special referee during a match between Wade Barrett and Fandango, where, of course, Miz got physical in the match, hit Skull Crusher finale on Wade Barrett, giving Fandango the win, which was all bouncing off from what happened this past SmackDown, where if you listen to our Main Event AfterBuzz last week, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but what I said on Main Event last week was exactly what they did on SmackDown.
Really?
Wade Barrett interrupted Miz TV between Miz and Fandango. They had a match, the title match between Miz and Barrett. Fandango interfered and kicked Miz in the head, and then Barrett took out Fandango to set up the triple threat. And continue on Raw and continue here on Main Event. We got a little feud, a little triple threat feud for the IC Gold, and I am a fan of it.
Well, bravo, Mr. Rosenberg. To be honest with you, man, I actually don't remember any of it, but I believe you.
Take my word for it.
Well, it's up on YouTube if you need to watch it.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
Or Hulu Plus.
We're not on Hulu Plus.
Well, SmackDown is.
Oh, yes.
So like I said, this match, for the most part, was just really a slugfest back and forth. Sheamus started off with a big short-handed clothesline, which Barrett kind of got out of the ring to, kind of recoup a little bit. And while he's trying to get back in, he walks by the announce table and just, kind of eyeing Miz. He's just like, I'm watching you. And Miz is like, hey, I'm a commentator tonight. I'm not getting physical with you guys. I'm just here doing my job with the Main Event commentary team.
Sucker.
Say it louder, baby.
We heard it.
Sucker!
Sheamus, once Barrett came back in the ring, Sheamus kind of controlled him again until Sheamus ran to the ropes, but Barrett followed him and clotheslined him over the top rope. And as Sheamus landed, he started to hold his arms. Beard and Mike, he might have injured his arm a little bit while taking that clothesline. And then we come back from commercial, and Wade Barrett is constantly working on that said arm. Just beautiful, again, ring psychology. We talked about it a few weeks ago with Cesaro's ring psychology. Wade Barrett doing it excellent in this match.
You were just attacking that shoulder left and right. I mean, well, one side of the shoulder and the tricep. Nah, it was some good ring psychology.
Also, a beautiful elbow drop off the apron onto the mat, like the ring floor, the mat. Let me try that again. Outside of the ring. That's what I'm trying to say.
It was all right. I didn't think it was that amazing, but it was all right.
You don't really see many people do that. We've seen Barrett do it, I think, like once before. I like it. It looks good. Okay. To me. Maybe not to you. Maybe it does to Corey. Maybe she's indifferent about it.
I'm just reading that chat, and people are already rating this this match.
They're rating this match. All right. They're jumping ahead of the game. I love it.
Well, since you already mentioned it, what did they say?
You want me to say what they're rating?
Well, you can give a few of the ratings. We're still going to talk about the match a little bit.
Lions fan in the chat, he says, I would rate this match a 5 out of 5. It was that good of a match.
All right.
All right, come on.
Well, yeah, we at this point, Barrett continuing to be in control. We have our second commercial break. Sheamus finally fires back with a nice-looking DDT. It's one of those older school DDTs where like not allowed to jump in or flipping with it. It's just plants him down, which excellent. And we really haven't seen Sheamus do that in a while. And at this point, then Ricardo started talking in Spanish because he was so excited.
And speaking of DDT, guess whose birthday is today?
Whose birthday is today, sir?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, happy birthday to Jake the Snake Roberts. Hopefully, we'll see him in the 2014 Royal Rumble because he wants to be in it.
And the reason why I know that, people, is I saw it on Facebook. We're buddies. Believe it.
Are you guys okay?
Believe it.
They're BFFs when they see each other. They give each other a nice hug because Jake the Snake Roberts is a good guy.
You just better keep that Cobra away from me, please.
Keep Damien away.
Man, he must be like 95 now, that Snake.
Meanwhile, at this point, Sheamus locks on what is my favorite submission hold of them all, the Texas Cloverleaf, which, again, that's a move we really haven't seen much of on WWE TV in a while. Love that Sheamus is trying to bring it back. And Barrett, though, fights back, goes for the wasteland, but that's countered into white noise, but only... I'm sorry, he didn't go for a cover there, because then Sheamus is starting to get wary, because white noise is usually followed by the bro kick. He's setting himself up for it. But Barrett ducks out of it and hits his winds of change, but only gets a 2 count. Sheamus, though, continuing to fight back like the Celtic Warrior he is, hits the Irish Curse backbreaker, again only for 2. And Sheamus starts to climb the ropes, but Barrett stops him and grabs him and hits the wasteland. We haven't seen Barrett hit wasteland in a long time. That used to be his finishing move. He hits it, you think, this is it. We got a big win here for the Intercontinental Champion. 1, 2, no. Sheamus kicks out. And then at that point now, Barrett's starting to gear up for the bullhammer. Sheamus, though, gets out of the way and throws Wade Barrett between the ropes to send him up for those 10 clubs across the chest. But Barrett eventually gets out of it, pushes Sheamus into the turnbuckle, winds up for the bullhammer, but before he could swing his arm, boom! Bro kick right in the jaw. Count 1, 2, 3. Sheamus victorious in an outstanding brawl. This is not Sheamus's music, but we're gonna do a little jig anyway.
It is kind of.
I mean, it works. It can work.
I like it.
This is what Sheamus listens to after a victory. He has a pint, and he's just singing away. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, so a nice brawl, a good 20-plus minute match. Again, though, the Intercontinental Champion in a non-title match loses. However, just an outstanding match. We heard one of our fans giving it a 5-star rating.
Yeah, and then we have another fan, Ryan, who's always around. Thank you. Gave it a 4 stars.
A 4-star rating, always good. I'm curious because I want to go to our harshest critic first. Just so I can see, because no, it's okay. You can take a sip first. That's fine. He needs to prepare.
Hey,
he needs to salivate. He needs to salivate.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, what did you think of this brawling match? No, nothing flashy. Just a good fight.
First, I gotta say I was really surprised. Really, really surprised. Particularly with Sheamus. You know, we were joking calling him Shamu, but this man is no Shamu. I mean, this guy is the Celtic Warrior, and I was Celtic Warrior. I always say Celtic. I always think
it's spelled the same.
Yeah, it's spelled the same. But this guy really, really showed his stuff. I mean, it is It is night and day compared to his performance with Randy Orton on that Raw after WrestleMania. It was beautiful. It was magnificent. You know, he tweeted on May 24th, "They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but the hounds of justice always have something up their sleeveless sleeves." Well said, Mr. Sheamus, because you had the bro kick versus the mule kick, the white noise versus the wasteland. You had all of these uppercuts, these kicks, these more kicks, the drops, the winds of change. I'm going to give this match a 3 3/4 stars. It was
not
beautiful.
bad. For you, that's good.
Really
For you, that's good.
good.
Corey, what do you think?
I actually would give it 3.5 stars.
3.5
But
stars.
I think that's a really good score. I really
Cameron
enjoyed
gave
it.
a match a higher rating than you. Has that ever happened before?
That has probably never happened. So mark this day in history.
No, it's happened.
Has it?
I don't think
I don't know.
so.
Really?
I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm giving this match a 4 stars because I thought it was outstanding. I thought they played off each other great. These guys always have good matches against each other. They were, when Sheamus was the World Heavyweight Champion, they were in the process of starting to set up a big feud between the two of them. But then Wade Barrett dislocated his elbow on Raw in that Battle Royal, which just obviously ruined everything for it because he was out for at least 4 or 5 months from that. But I mean, these guys can put on a main event, no pun intended, a main event feud and have main event caliber matches, just like we saw here today.
I know you mentioned like when we were watching it just looked like a brawl. Now
It was a flat out fight. Like I said,
that's
I
great.
mean,
I like how you said that.
It's not like what we have. We had a wasteland and we had the Irish Curse backbreaker. Those are pretty much like the only moves where people left their feet. I mean, if you think about it, like as far as them physically lifting each other and the winds of change, I mean, that's really it. But it shows you don't need to have all those different power moves or high flying moves to put on a great scientific match. Just good old brawling, working the arm, working the legs with the clover leaf, all of that. Excellent match.
Now, I've got to ask Kaori, because I know it was all on our minds, because visually, it was impeccable. Kaori, lovely Kaori.
Here we go.
What do you think is more attractive, the tan man or the pale skinned man?
Is this like you versus Christian?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to stay out of this one.
I didn't even
Go ahead.
I didn't even
answer it if you dare.
It depends on the man, I guess.
Fair enough.
The end.
Depends on the man.
Fair enough.
How about you guys? What do you guys
If the
prefer?
man looks more
I
like
prefer a lady with a little tan because I'm too pale enough as it is, and if there's someone matching my complexion, that wouldn't look
Wait a
great.
second, Corey. If the man looks like Brock Lesnar versus another man that looks like Ricky Martin, what would you choose?
Ricky Martin?
Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin wouldn't like me, so that is
You look
why
more
I
like
would choose
Ricardo
Brock
Rodriguez than
Lesnar.
Ricky Martin.
I look like a straight Ricky Martin.
What is that? You're making us get off topic. You're making us get off topic, Cameron. I don't want the sirens to go off.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And we're going to segue from that to the recap from Raw, the latest installment between Cena and Ryback, where we find out at Payback. We thought last week we were going to have an ambulance match, but it's not just an ambulance match. We are having the 3 stages of hell match. Fall number 1 will be a lumberjack match. Superstars will surround the ring to make sure that Ryback cannot run away like he has been in the past. And also means guys on the undercard are going to get a pay-per-view payday this month, which is great. Good for them.
Lumberjack
We're going to see the primetime players on pay-per-view because they're going to be lumberjacks.
Well, that's good. I would love to see.
I mean,
3MB is going to be on a pay-per-view because they're going to be lumberjacks. Yoshitatsu gets to be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
But yeah, fall number 2, we have a tables match.
I love those.
Where you can only win if you put someone through a table, have it go splat, have their body just broken in half through that wooden object.
That is my next move. I'm going to put someone through a table.
That's very dangerous, though, people. The table, because you never know what kind of little things can ricochet in your face and like blood gushing out of your face.
But that's the risk you take wrestling.
I saw it, Bo Cooper versus Ryan Katz, our very own. Bo Cooper almost injured himself.
I think he did injure
In
himself.
fact, yeah, I think he did.
And I mean that's the price you pay, actually. And our buddy Ryan Katz is currently getting all settled in Orlando now in his new retirement home from wrestling and AfterBuzz. So but yeah, now fall 3, if it gets to a third fall, where every 3 stages of Hell match gets to a third fall.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
If they don't get the third fall, I will applaud this because that would be awesome. But if it gets to a third fall, then we have the ambulance match, where the way to win is to get your opponent into the ambulance and shut the doors. Pretty much the equivalent of a casket match, just with an ambulance, if you think about it.
Yes, you're right.
And in the end, Cena feels that he will be victorious.
You know, the more I think about this whole ambulance kind of stipulation, the more I feel like it's a matter of convenience almost. It's almost like the wrestler is substituting as the EMT, the winning wrestler. You know, he's basically just strolling them in, the EMT doing the dirty work. It's like... it
helps their payroll.
How is that, how is that, aggressive? How is that, how is that, bad, evil?
Because he's beating somebody so badly, put him into such submission that he feels that the only way that they will be able to breathe again and get back in that ring is if they get medical attention.
So that's quite kind.
Right, so then they could heal up so they can beat him again. And again. And again, and again, and again. Now, anyway, so we got the 3 stages of Hell now for Payback.
Now I believe we got a tout.
We do have a tout as well. We have actually a couple touts around this time. I believe our first tout is going to come from that Braden Superboy Williams. I think he's got something to say about this 3 stages of Hell match, I should say. So we're going to go ahead and get that tout loaded up. And as that's loaded up, we should also talk about that also on this recap, we saw Curtis Axel coming out as well. But let's get to this tout first. Or I think this tout is actually about Curtis Axel, and we'll get to the other one, which is the Ryback one. But yeah, we'll go ahead with this. Here we go.
Man, Curtis Axel.
Yeah, it's about Curtis
Axel.
Axel.
I did not think that's who it was going to be whenever he showed him out there. It took me by a total surprise. But, the kid, he's still young, got a bright future ahead of him. He's good, talented. Can't wait to see what he can do.
All right, thanks so much for that towel. Yeah, we're about to talk about Curtis Axel. I mixed the two of them up. My bad. The one that talked about Ryback and Cena, though, was at Ray Larkin. So go and we'll play that towel right now, and then we'll start talking about Curtis Axel, which Braden Superboy Williams just talked about as well. So we'll get that other tout up too. Here he is.
Here we go.
Oh, here.
Brock.
He did his hair for us too. Nice.
Cena that they did 10 years ago in 2003 with Triple H. They have them keep winning and going bulletproof throughout the year, and then have a couple of DQs and double countouts in the middle of all of it.
He brings up a good point.
He does.
He brings up a good point. When Triple H was reigning supreme, you really never saw him lose often. If he did lose, it was like controversial fashion, like a double countout or things of that nature. And that's what he's bringing up here based on their Extreme Rules or Last Man Standing match at Extreme Rules, where there was no clear winner.
Yeah.
And now, you can technically almost kind of have the controversy. You can have the controversy with this 3 stages of Hell match. So he makes a great point.
I really love that tout. Thank you, Ray Larkin. It just gets me thinking, when Triple H had that whole thing going on, winning every match, that's actually when I started tuning out for a brief period. It gets boring, And as much as I love Triple H, I'm wearing his bling, but, I'm just saying the truth here.
Yeah, I mean, again, Cora, do you have any thoughts with that as well? Or?
Well, I mean, I just think same. I like his tout.
It's a great tout.
I think
it is a great tout. And by the way, you can all tout us at ME AfterBuzz if you would like to. But yeah, so let's get back to Curtis Axel, which our first tout was kind of referring to, because we also had the recap of Curtis Axel taking on John Cena in the main event of Raw, where Ryback, in the end, caused a distraction by he had the ambulance come out and then attack Cena from behind, thus giving Curtis Axel a count-out victory over John Cena. So in the last 2 weeks, Curtis Axel takes out Triple H and technically has a victory over John Cena. They are building this guy up, and I'm overall enjoying it because it's the young blood. They're bringing up young blood, and I applaud that.
But you don't like it.
Cameron doesn't like it at all.
Absolutely not, people. Absolutely not.
And do you guys know why they bring up champions? Because chicks dig champions.
That is true.
And if you dig champions, you can help everyone here out at AfterBuzz TV by supporting us and going to SerialBuddies.com and downloading our movie, Serial Buddies.
That's right.
We have been working on this movie for 3 to 4 years, putting our sweat and our tears into this thing, and we try so hard to provide you guys with the best content that we can provide every week, every day, every hour. And we love you guys, the fans, and we love doing it, but we also just sometimes need you guys' help. Without commercials, it gets a little pricey around here, and the one way you can support us is by going to iTunes, going to SerialBuddies.com, and helping us out with this amazing movie. If you like Dumb and Dumber, if you like Dexter, it's a very hilarious comedy. Trust me, like it'll knock your socks off. We got Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
You got Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Gifford.
Seriously, we got an all-star cast of comedy brilliance, and we even keep it like wholesale price for you guys because we want you guys to be able to see an amazing comedy like this. And it just means a lot to us. For every single download we see, it just means so much to us to know that our fans really support what we're all about here at AfterBuzz. And I know you guys have seen it too. Christian, you've seen the movie.
I think we all saw it when it was out in theaters. We actually had Gian Molina, one of the stars of the movie, here at Main Event AfterBuzz on our very first episode.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a hilarious movie. You can find out more information of where you could purchase the movie if you go to SerialBuddies.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at Serial_Buddies, or our boss at Maria Menudos, or of course at AfterBuzz TV.
It's a giant button.
It is a giant.
It doesn't get much easier than that. There's a giant button on SerialBuddies.com, takes you right to the page to download it, and we're going to be watching it again. We just, we love this thing.
We do. And Steven, might I say, I love your little music that you played while you got to talk about the music. It was a nice little beat for you.
Well, you know, sometimes we want to be solemn, and sometimes we want to beat home the point, like Sheamus beat home the point to Wade Barrett in this match starting this main event today.
Steven, how many stars would you give that match?
I would give that match 4 7/8 stars.
Holy my goodness! My goodness!
Because in that match, he was gonna put him in a medical facility.
That's true, in a medical facility. All right.
That was
so
a
yeah,
match.
thank you, Steven, for for that information. That was a public service announcement about that awesome movie, The Adventures of Serial Buddies. Right
Believe
there.
it or not, I saw it twice.
There you go. You saw it twice. So funny, you had to see it twice.
That's damn right.
So nice to see it twice. That's the rhyme. I messed up the rhyme for it. But yeah, so again, we were talking about you don't like Curtis Axel.
Okay, yes, go.
What?
You said you weren't a fan of Curtis Axel. Clearly that means you are. So you're on my side.
No. I feel it now. I feel it. I remember now. It's all come back to telekinesis.
You like McGillicuddy, just not Axel?
Michael McGillicuddy or Chris?
You're confusing the issue.
No confusion. I know that's his
or Joe Hennig.
No, here's the problem, folks. Here's the problem. You know, this guy, I've never seen him on WWE TV before this. I didn't know who Curtis Axel was. I don't watch NXT, and that's a fact. But I do watch.
Which is sad. You should. It's awesome.
I'm sorry. I can't watch every damn WWE show and TNA. I just can't watch it all.
Don't say that. Okay, go on.
What
Don't say you can't watch them all because they're all great. That's why we do AfterBuzz.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I love them all, but I can't watch them all.
Yeah, I get
I got
it.
so much time in the day. I love wrestling. But look here, folks. You know, Antonio Cesaro, I think he should have been that man. Not Curtis Axel. I mean, his name was originally supposed to be Kurt Axel, but they didn't want to make it sound like Kurt Angle, so then they made it called Curtis Axel. I mean, it just doesn't sound good. I'm not a fan of the guy. Though he shares the looks of Mr. Perfect, he's not Mr. Perfect. And I just feel like it's not fair to the other wrestlers who have worked damn hard on Main Event. The Antonio Cesaro match has been absolutely fabulous. It's just not fair.
Do you know, but hold on. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Curtis Axel's been in WWE longer than Cesaro.
Yeah, but he was in NXT, and to me that doesn't count.
So was Cesaro.
Yeah, but I've seen Cesaro far longer in the actual WWE programming, not NXT, than Curtis Axel.
I don't know. I mean, Curtis Axel has been around. He was in it. He was in the NXT TV show. He was part of the New Nexus. He was a former tag team champion already as Michael McGillicuddy. But they really needed to find something for him, and they finally did.
I'm sorry, it doesn't count, man. Not in my opinion.
I'm on the fence with Curtis Axel only because I was hoping it would have been Cesaro.
Yeah, I know you were hoping it would be Cesaro.
It's a developmental program.
Yes.
But Curtis Axel's he's entertaining, I think. So far, so good.
I'm not saying
see
he's
how
not
he
entertaining.
progresses.
I just don't feel he deserves it right now. I just don't think so.
But what makes
let's be honest. The only reason why he's there is because his last name is Hennig.
I don't know, but obviously, does that help? Of course, it helps. If
There's
you're
no way
third generation, you don't think you don't think he'd be you don't think he'd be a WWE superstar. You don't think he'd have the talent to be a superstar if he wasn't Kurt Hennig's son.
No. I'm not saying that. I don't think he'd be Heyman's new guy if he wasn't Hennig.
Well, think about it. It's kind of the same way they brought up Randy Orton. Randy Orton started on developmental for a while. Then he was out there. He just kind of floundering a little bit, didn't really do much. But then they turned him and they put him with Evolution with Ric Flair's backing about him being a third-generation wrestler. Very similar thing, only difference is Paul Heyman, not Ric Flair.
But wasn't he in WWE for some time? Actually, actual WWE programming, not
yes,
NXT?
same with Curtis Axel as Michael McGillicuddy. He was a tag team champion in WWE with David Otunga.
On what show?
On Raw.
Wow. Well, I don't
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
They were tag team champions for a while. They had a whole angle with Jerry Lawler saying, you guys are boring.
Wow. I don't remember.
Wow. I'm saying wow now from that.
I think he's gonna grow to like Curtis Axel.
I think some people are on the fence with him.
I'm on the fence.
You're like you.
Yeah.
You're on the fence, but I think he's one of those guys that will eventually grow. He actually, his wrestling style, the way he's physically working in the ring, honestly reminds me of a young Triple H. Just like the way he's working the ring. I mean, because again, he's not super flashy. He has a few signature moves, but just his pace and everything kind of reminds me a little bit of Triple H.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Rosenberg. You got me there. You really did. And, you know, there have been some brief time lapses in my wrestling tenor of watching, but I will tell you this. Regardless of if he was on WWE, NXT, whatever, I still feel that a guy like Cesaro, a guy who obviously has really been working it really, really hard lately, should have got that spot. Not him.
Well, we're going to...
I think that's probably going to be a place for Cesaro anyway, somehow. I hope.
We'll
Please
see.
Listen to my plea.
And we're going to get to Cesaro shortly. But before we get to that, we need to talk to people about going on to iTunes and leaving, you know, if they agree or disagree with what we're saying about Curtis Axel or whoever, to leave us a comment, give us a 5-star rating, and most importantly, subscribe and tell friends about this and all the other great AfterBuzz programming, because we do AfterBuzz Raw, we do AfterBuzz SmackDown, we also do the pay-per-views, and of course, any of your other favorite television shows. If you watch it, AfterBuzz probably does it. So go ahead and check it out, and also make sure you like and leave comments on our YouTube page. And again, you're seeing our touts. If you tout us at Emmy AfterBuzz about your thoughts, if you have a question for any of us or a comment about what's going on in WWE, if we like it, we're gonna post it. Case in point, we've already seen a couple of them during this broadcast. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, please tout. I get really excited when you guys tout. I'm really happy. It makes my day.
And speaking of NXT a little bit, we then get a little. We find out first on Friday in SmackDown we're going to have Randy Orton versus Dean Ambrose, but then we get a video package of the latest superstars to be coming up to the main roster from NXT. I'm so friggin' excited that they finally get into Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. Cannot wait for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, these people look like the Godwins.
It's like a Duck Dynasty-esque.
That Miz called them Duck Dynasty.
But does anybody remember the Godwins, the spit bucket, the
Yeah, they were
overalls?
farmers.
Yeah, but
these guys aren't farmers.
They may not
They're
be farmers,
cults.
but they got the same kind of look. They may be a cult, but they could be farming some, you know, corn and other things.
I don't know, but I mean, Bray Wyatt, formerly known as Husky Harris, has got this character down pat. He's a great wrestler. They're the two guys in the family. Eric Rowan, he's the one with the big red beard. He's got a good look to him. He's still, personally, in my opinion, still a little green. But with that character, they're currently the NXT Tag Team Champions, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper of the family. Luke Harper is vicious. He's got a powerful lariat, the JBL type clothesline from Hell-esque. So I'm really excited to see them come up. But we're going to have more recaps of them in the coming weeks. But now we got a recap back from Raw when Chris Jericho challenged CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago at Payback, you know, to really decide who the best in the world is. And we actually have one more tout about that, and then we're going to get into our thoughts of it. We got a tell from @KillerZachAttack. So he had his thoughts about this upcoming matchup between CM Punk and Chris Jericho as well. And there, well, big extreme close-up. All right.
Silencio.
Oh, we don't have sound.
Silencio.
It's all right. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, give me a second.
No worries. So, yeah, again, we're getting like the recap from of Paul Heyman accepting the challenge on behalf of CM Punk to face Chris Jericho. But again, it's kind of, we were talking about earlier, it's kind of recycling the same storyline that they used back in WrestleMania 28 of finding out who the best in the world is.
I don't get it. I mean, it's like deja vu. I like to see these guys wrestle. These are two of my favorite wrestlers by far. By far.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chris Jericho and I love CM Punk. But it's just a regular singles match. And, I mean, if you're going to have a rematch after so long, why don't you, put a Hell in a Cell stipulation? Inferno stipulation. Something a little crazy.
Isn't it nice to know that CM Punk's coming back? I mean, that's...
It's great to know CM Punk's coming back. Honestly, I really don't have a problem with it being a regular one-on-one match. I think we got the tout ready, so we're going to hear the tout, and then we'll continue with this.
We don't have sound on the tout. The video doesn't have it, but he did make a sign, and I want to show you guys that.
Okay, so apparently we have an issue with the sound, but yeah, there you go. He shows a sign that says Best in the World CM Punk. So clearly, he felt that CM Punk is going to win this match like he did in WrestleMania 28. And again, these guys can wrestle a million times, and I will never get tired of it because both of them are such phenomenal wrestlers. I don't mind whether or not there's a stipulation in it. I don't mind whether or not there's a title. What I mind is they couldn't think of any other way to bring it back than bring up the same storyline. Because, I mean, Jericho just finished up his feud with Fandango. CM Punk has been gone since he lost to The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
You could have brought things up with Jericho claiming Punk was embarrassed. I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
I just wanted to point out something that one of the chat members said, and I thought it was a good point. He's a Lions fan again, says, I think they want Punk to... Oops, wrong one. I think they're... Ryan Wilson,
you got this? All right.
I think they're setting up a CM Punk split from Heyman.
Which they might be down the road. I mean, which is kind of a rumor that's been going around for a long time now. Honestly, I mean, well, obviously, we're still a few weeks away from Payback, but I would not be surprised if, in typical heel fashion, CM Punk is not there and Curtis Axel wrestles Jericho at the pay-per-view.
Let's see what happens.
Well, let's see. Well, seeing as we're saying what's going to happen or thinking about what's going to happen. Yeah. We talked about the...
You want to put a little wager on this with me.
That's right, buddy. That's right.
I'm a little afraid about this.
And we're going to put cash on the line. You better believe it, people.
Okay, we don't condone gambling. You must be 21 and up to gamble. But off camera, we might talk.
Yeah, you see, Cameron Kash came equipped today, people.
I mean, you got like the $1,000 shirts
you guys get
and the Cracker Jack necklace.
This is some high-value money,
Whoa, he's got $1. He's got $2.
You have dollar bills? I'm kind of worried where you're going after this.
He's sitting next to Kaori with singles.
And don't even think I'm going to bet both of these.
Make it rain!
Whoa. This dollar bill was minted in 2006. By the rate of inflation in our economy, this baby's worth $1.08. So you better believe that, man. And I'm going to put this on the line.
Inflation makes dollars worth less, not more. $1.08 is worth that dollar now.
Therefore, I will think about this offer, and I will give you my answer next week.
Okay, man.
I just wanted to build up. Go ahead.
You get all crazy, Sparky. But look, man. Okay, we'll say it's $1, but I'm gonna bet.
Where has the show gone?
Chris Jericho is going to win this match.
Chris Jericho's going to win the match.
CM Punk is going to lose again.
So you're saying Chris Jericho's going to beat CM Punk?
That's right.
I just want to clarify. In case it's Curtis Axel, you automatically lose.
No, forget about Curtis Axel. That doesn't exist right now.
Okay.
What we know right now is this Chris Jericho versus CM Punk singles match payback. I'm saying Chris Jericho is going to win.
Fair enough.
So you think CM Punk's going to win?
Can we talk about Cesaro now?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, we're gonna get to Cesaro.
So we'll see what happens to this dollar, but let's continue.
Oh, my eyes on the prize now. All right, but yeah, now we get back to action from main event where we have Justin Gabriel, who, as Cameron immediately pointed out as soon as he ran out, in the same gear as he's always been. Mm-hmm. And then Josh Matthew yells to Ricardo, "Hey, Ricardo, it's the Luchador!"
I thought he was talking about calling Ricardo a luchador.
Justin Gabriel's not a luchador. Justin Gabriel's not a luchador.
I know, your voice just vibrated in my head.
He was highly offended.
I am. I think Ricardo should be offended by that statement. I mean,
I think it was a joke.
He's a high flyer, yes, but he's not a luchador.
I think he was just trying to pull his chain. Know what I mean?
Maybe. And Josh Matthews. By the way, remember, Josh Matthews is supposedly trying to be a heel commentator on SmackDown now for some odd reason, and he's a straight face on main event.
Forget about it.
That's a whole nother issue.
Bring back Shivani. Let's talk about Cesaro.
Bring Christian Rosenberg in. Anywho, speaking of someone who was changing his ring gear, we get Antonio Cesaro in just your basic blue trunks. He doesn't have like the rugby things on. He's not coming out with the beret or the shades or a t-shirt. No knee pads. Your basic black boots. How generic can they make Antonio Cesaro look? Because he looked like the epitome of generic wrestler.
Hey man, I loved it. And I'm going to tell you why right now. First of all, he looked like Bruno Sammartino. And Bruno Sammartino
he did look like Sammartino.
Was the greatest World Wrestling Federation entertainment, whatever you want to call it, champion of all time. By far, and that's my opinion. Second of all, you know, what I kept visualizing was this man's just, you know, he's just laying in bed at Motel 6 with the blue trunks on. And then Steven Seagal storms the building, and then he has to run into the ring, and he's running with his underwear. Because that's exactly what
That's what's running through your mind.
That's exactly what's running through my mind.
I question your mind if that's the things that are running through it.
He was cozying up with this lady at Motel 6, and they had that corn feature.
No, he's not like that.
But he had that underwear on.
In Kaori's mind, he's not at all like that.
But he had his underwear on, and that's exactly what it looked like. He looked like he was wearing some beautiful blue Calvin Kleins like I'm wearing right now.
Kaori, save this, please.
I'm so lost. What just happened?
Kaori, what do you think of the sudden change? Again, like this is the second gimmick change in a month we've had for Cesaro.
I'm not concerned about his outfit. I'm just concerned about watching him wrestle. So it didn't bother me. I thought it was fine. I thought it was kind of cool, if anything.
Well, this match was fairly quickly. Gabriel started on fire, hit a nice hurricane on the outside, but Cesaro powered back with a huge clothesline. And then Cesaro was constantly in this match locking on a sleeper hold, which we really haven't seen from him before. Like, you know, locked it on for a while, try to have Gabriel fight out of it. Gabriel, in his comeback, did hit a pretty cool moonsault off the second rope where he lands on his feet into an inverted DDT, which did look very nice. Only got the 2 count, but then Cesaro locks on the sleeper hold again, pretty much has Gabriel out. The referee is getting ready to, you know, like raise the arms in typical sleeper hold fashion to see if the wrestler can continue. But before he can do that, Cesaro lets go of the hold, grabs and sets him up for the neutralizer, and that's it. A quick squash victory for Antonio Cesaro against main event's resident superhero, Justin Gabriel.
Hey, I thought it was great for Cesaro. It's still making him look like a superstar, which is all that matters right now. Unfortunately, as much as Justin Gabriel is a great performer, I don't see him lasting much longer. He doesn't have a good story, he doesn't have good mic skills. He's a great wrestler, but I feel like he's just missing the glow.
But what can we do, star ratings?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to give this one a 2 stars.
Aww.
2 star from Cameron. Corey, what do you think?
I would give it 3 stars because
why?
Cesaro was in it. It was too short.
Come on. We need to elaborate more than just your dream boat is in it.
I thought it was an enjoyable match. I thought it was good. It had some decent moves in it, and I was entertained the whole time.
All right.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think that's a
so disappointed.
No, you gave an explanation. The explanation's fine.
Hey,
I just wanted an explanation for it. That's all.
Cesaro is a sexy man. I understand.
Well, aside from the sexiness, there's a lot of power in that match. It was good.
All right. I'm going to give it 2.5. It was a decent squash match. There really wasn't a whole lot that stood out to me in it. The only thing that really stood out was the fact that Cesaro is starting to apply the sleeper hold into his arsenal now, which
puts you to sleep?
I liked how he...
No, I'm not saying it puts me to sleep, but I mean, I think if you're going with a real old school attire now he's going to try to maybe throw some old school moves. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets rid of the neutralizer.
I liked how he slapped Gabriel after he
after he won, he just picked him up and slapped him in the face.
That was
wonderful.
So, yeah, and then we finally, from that, we have our last match of main event, which is a 6-man tag team affair between 3-man band. And then the combination of Tons of Funk and R-Truth. Tons of Funk, Brodus Clay and Tensai are in blue, and the Funkadactyls are in orange-ish gold for some odd reason. I thought they normally match, but whatever. And
they wanted to throw you off.
And this was a 6-man tag match that lasted less than 3 minutes. It was Slater got a kick in, a couple stumps on Tensai, hot tag to R-Truth, who clean house, double splash on the Jinder by Bros and Tensai, which then led into I don't know if R-Truth has named his finisher. I don't know if we have a name for it. He used to name his finisher the lie detector, but I think he changed it. That move used to be called pay dirt, but nonetheless, double splash by Tons of Funk, and then the pay dirt by R-Truth. Quick win by R-Truth and Tons of Funk in the last match. Like we were watching on the DVR. It was 5-2 when this match began.
I'll be honest with you, this match felt extremely random for me.
It was pretty
random.
random.
Felt like, let's throw in, we have a couple minutes left.
But those 6 guys are going to be at the Payback pay-per-view as Lumberjacks. Don't forget.
I mean...
Yes!
Did anybody see Lord Tensai in NJPW? Because this guy was a mastodon. He was a badass. He had these Japanese inscriptions going across his face. And when he came to WWE, he was the man to beat John Cena, to beat The Undertaker, to beat The Rock. Well, I don't know that far.
He did not beat The Rock.
But no, I didn't say he beat him, but he was getting ready to fight these guys. And then suddenly he puts on a tank top and says, "Somebody's got my mama?"
Well, somebody call my mama, number 1.
Oh, I thought, well, yeah.
Somebody call my mama.
But number 2, a random side question. You have time to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, but not time to watch NXT?
Hey, man, I like... I have a special taste.
Yeah, hey, New Japan Pro Wrestling is awesome, too. But honestly, the way that Tensai was going with his gimmick, it clearly wasn't working out, and they couldn't figure out anything to do with it. Putting him with Brodus saved his job.
I couldn't go back to NJPW if I were him.
I completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
He was like kind of falling off the cliff, and then it saved his job to team them up together.
And he, I mean, it's just, obviously on TV, who knows in the back, but he appears like he's having fun with he knows what his role is. He's part of a mid-card tag team that, that is there mainly for the kids. They got the Funkadactyls there, so he's just having fun dancing and occasionally win and occasionally lose.
I really question if he's having fun. In fact, if I were to do some psychoanalysis on this guy, and I do have a psychological background, I would say this man's super depressed. Because this guy came in to be a main eventer to go one-on-one with Cena, and now he's singing about mamas and dancing in the ring. He's a joke like he was as Prince Albert, cross-dressing. It's just as bad. I mean, that's why he went to NJPW and reinvented himself.
I know he's not like the same caliber as you're used to, but he's still very entertaining, and I think a lot of people like watching him. I think he's probably grateful for
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, and now with this role, he's also being a part of more charity events, the Be a Star campaigns, things like that. So those are more money. Those are more exposure to the superstars. You want those opportunities. He wasn't going to get it he's still Tensai, but he wasn't going to get it as
Lord Tensai.
Lord Tensai, thank you. He's getting it as Sweet Tea.
He's almost more entertaining as Sweet Tea right now.
We got to get ready to start wrapping this up. So what would we give our star rating for this?
You go first.
I'm giving this match a 1 star. This was terrible.
We are mano-a-mano tonight,
1 star?
1 star.
Yeah, our numbers were very similar today.
Yep.
Ichiban, lucky number 1 star as well.
1 star. Wow, we all hated that 6-man tag match.
Yes.
We've got a trifecta here. I like it.
Well, but overall, main event was packed tonight. The Sheamus Barrett match, like we said, was fantastic.
Can I just say that they did not spell Sheamus's name right in the audience twice? It was either Sheamus or Shamus.
It's not an easy name.
It's
an easy name.
Spell it. Spell it right now. Go.
Sheamus.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. Smart.
Kaori is smart. So that's what we got for this week's for WWE Main Event AfterBuzz. We will be back here next week, same time, same channel. But if you want to talk to us in the meantime, Cameron Kash, how can people reach out to you?
Real quick, Chris Midgie asked me in the chat, what does glow mean when I was mentioning about Justin Gabriel? Watch The Last Dragon and you'll know exactly what it means. You can find me at LA Exposed, no E before the X. Look for me, people. I love you.
Corey.
He loves you.
He loves him. Do you love him, Corey?
Yes.
No, I'm saying the people. I'm talking about Cameron.
I love the people.
Do you love Cameron too, though?
Yes, and
okay.
you.
Oh, thank you. All right, where can people find you, Kaori?
You can follow me at KAORIOUS on Twitter and on my Facebook page. And please join me this Saturday at noon here at AfterBuzz TV for Game Control Live.
All right, and then you could follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. You could also watch me if you enjoy NBC's The Voice. I do the AfterBuzz for that on Monday nights. And if you're in the LA Hollywood area, all next week is the 2013 Los Angeles Improv Comedy Festival at iOS. I am there every night performing and hosting over the next week. Next week, you guys are going to see me. I'm going to be a freaking zombie because I'm up to like 2 a.m. every night next week for that festival. If you're around, hope to see you. See some shows there. For Cameron and Kaori, I am Christian Rosenberg. We will see you next week.
And make sure you download
SerialBuddies.com. Serial Buddies.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, Serial Buddies.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.